I will finish what you started, grandfather. This is where the dumb begins.
Hi everyone, I'm True Soul, and welcome back to another Big Bad Toy Store haul video. So I got me another pack of figures from Big Bad Toy Store. Just a heads up, all of these are Star Wars related, so if you don't like that, stick around anyway. So this is gonna be a pretty big one. I think I have at least like 5 figures that are actually in the case. I got one that got sent to me earlier because after a certain amount of days with Big Bad Toy Store, if you have something in your pile of loot, they just send it to you. So I have one that already came. Go ahead and show you. It's the Praetorian Guard, the Imperial Praetorian Guard, which I'm also gonna be unboxing. And I have another figure that I got from off of eBay. Kylo Ren. This is back whenever, you know, Force Awakens was just coming out. And I already do have a Kylo Ren, but the Kylo Ren that's kind of like my definitive Kylo Ren is actually the Starkiller base version, which I'll probably do a little comparison once I actually open them up. But first, let's go and open up this big box and see all the figures that we got to work with today. These are all the figures. I got the Star Wars Bad Batch Elite Squad Trooper. I got Darth Nihilus. Now, this was a re-release, and you can tell because he comes in the black and red box. They don't normally release new figures in these anymore. I do kind of miss the red box. That was around the time I really started collecting Black Series. So we got Darth Nihilus. Let's see what we got here. Got Bix from Star Wars Andor. Boop. We got Moff Gideon in his Dark Trooper armor. Real cool figure. Still not done. And last but not least, we got Clone Wars Anakin from the Ahsoka series. Boop. And of course, the other 2 figures that I showed earlier. We got a lot of figures, guys. I'm not gonna do like a full-fledged review on all of them because a lot of these are kind of like older figures, but I will go ahead and open up, you know, some of them, and we can talk about each one. So let's go ahead and open up this Kylo Ren first, because I think out of all these figures, he's the oldest one. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna open him up and we can take a look at him and compare him to my Starkiller base Kylo Ren that I already have. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Kylo Ren out of the packaging. I remember whenever Force Awakens first came out, and I was buying some of the figures, they came out with a Kylo Ren, but he was like one that didn't have the helmet. I got that one, and then I got the Starkiller base one. This one's cloth goods feel a lot more thicker. You can tell that there's like, it looks like there's like multiple layers. You got this one right here, and then you got, and these look longer than the other Kylo Rens that I have. Overall, it looks pretty good. One thing that I really like is like the lightsaber effect. You can kind of see how like it looks a little bit more sporadic, because I'm pretty sure Kylo Ren's lightsaber, his kyber crystal, is like cracked, so that's what kind of gives it that kind of crazy unstable look. And the other lightsabers that come with Kylo Ren action figures don't look like that as much. But to show you guys what I'm talking about, I'm gonna go ahead and go grab my other Kylo Ren, and boom. So this is my definitive Kylo Ren that I have in my display. I got this Kylo Ren from Kmart, for any of you that remember what that is. Before our Kmart closed down, they were having a big clearance sale. Everything had to go, and they had Kylo Ren. He was like really cheap. This is one of the first Star Wars Black Series figures I bought. Like one of the first 3. Like I bought Boss, I bought Ahsoka from Rebels, and then Kylo Ren. Those were like my first 3 Black Series action figures. But now that I got them side by side, I am starting to see some similarities between the two. It looks like, if you get a little closer here, the soft good plastic parts, it looks like it's more textured on my Starkiller base Kylo Ren than this one. I primarily got another one just because if you see down here, obviously since the Starkiller base was snowy, he has like this random snow effects on his robe, so I figured I'd get one that didn't have any of that. The articulation still looks more or less the same, but one thing that I really like about my Starkiller base Kylo Ren is just that extended hand. I feel like you can kind of get more cool action poses out of the Kylo Ren that I currently have. I mostly got another Kylo Ren because I had a custom idea. I know I talk about customs on and off. I still haven't gotten around to doing any of them because between making YouTube videos and my actual job, I just don't have time to do any of that. But overall, it's a pretty decent Kylo Ren. I might end up on my display, might take this Kylo Ren's lightsaber and give it to my Starkiller base one. And we're going to go ahead and open up the Praetorian Guard next, since he was the other one that wasn't actually in the packaging. Go ahead and open up him next. Let's see how he looks. And here he is, guys, the Praetorian Guard out of the packaging. Looks really shiny in the light. I really like this Praetorian Guard compared to the First Order like Praetorian Guards. This guy's armor feels a lot more fuller. He feels a lot more bulkier. So I really like that a lot. I might end up getting a second one of these because these guys are pretty cool. Cool looking. They didn't appear very much in the Mandalorian show. I think they were only in one episode. Sorry, trying to get him to stand up. There we go. Now he does come with 2 different weapons, which is primarily why I'm probably gonna get a second one, so bear with me, guys. So he comes with this kind of weird looking staff that you could maybe use as a hockey stick. I just now noticed that it does look a little bit like a hockey stick. That's funny. And he comes with this like weird whip sword thing. It looks like a sword that turned into like a whip. If any of you guys play Soul Calibur, you probably know where I'm going with that. We're gonna stick the staff in his hand and see how that looks. And here he is with his hockey stick. But I thought I'd go ahead and do a little comparison between him and the only other Praetorian Guard I got. For those of you who don't know, I finally have my entire Star Wars collection actually displayed over on my display shelf, so it makes it a lot easier for me to do comparisons, because now I can just literally turn around and grab it off my shelf. So here is the First Order Praetorian Guard. One thing I like about the Imperial Praetorian Guard is his bottom part is like cloth, so these plastic flaps like on this guy don't hinder articulation getting away or anything. Although if you get the original Praetorian Guard just right, those plastic parts can kind of help make them stand up pretty well. The articulation also on the new Praetorian Guards is a lot better. Yes, he just has a single joint, but you get a good range of motion on that. Not so much on the head. He can turn pretty good, but he can look up a decent bit, but going down, you see that part right there is kind of hindering the articulation of that. But overall, if you have like any like Sith troopers or the Sith jet troopers, it's a similar articulation and it's pretty decent. Oh, we also got double jointed legs down here, so that's always good. I really just like characters, Star Wars characters like this, like ones that are like, you know, they're not regular troopers, but they're also like not Jedi. Very cool. I'm probably gonna do some stop motion idea with this guy in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and open up Bix just because this is gonna sound really bad, because I feel like she's the most boring character out of everyone else. Like, guys, don't get me wrong, I love the Andor series and Bix is a good character. It's just, you know, look at everyone else who's here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open up Bix. This is back when they were trying to, I don't know, save the environment by not using plastic, and then everybody got mad because they couldn't see the actual figure that was in there, and it could have looked really jank for all they know. Yeah, very interesting time for Hasbro. But I still think they use less plastic than they used to. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Bix out of the packaging. Now, I primarily got Bix for the similar reason I get other Andor figures, and that is, I feel like a lot of them look just plain enough to where you can use them for like civilians and like different things. I'm trying to get like more figures to be like background characters and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to, you know, have her displayed in my Star Wars collection. That's not the issue. But here we have her little, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it her tablet. This is Bix from the first season of Andor. I don't think they didn't make an action figure for her for the second season. I guess because she didn't do as much. I don't know. So we're gonna give her tablet here. And the articulation on her is actually pretty good. Her hair does not hinder her articulation at all. Also, she has that separate neck piece, which always pretty good with articulation. Not that she's going to be doing a whole lot of action stuff anyway, but... And there you go. I still don't have an Andor from the Andor series. I mean, I'm kind of okay with the one that I have from Rogue One, so I'm probably not going to be getting an Andor to put on the shelf. We'll have to wait and see. I am planning on doing a new collection display video, so once I do that, you will all see what my setup is and what I'm working with. We'll go ahead and let Bix play Candy Crush over here. And next we're going to go ahead and do the open up the Elite Squad Trooper. For those of you who don't know, this is technically not a clone trooper. These are just some soldiers that are wearing some dark clone trooper looking armor. We've got a bad back. Although I wouldn't say they're very elite because they didn't really do a whole lot in the show, but we're not going to talk about this. And here he is, guys, the Elite Squad Trooper. I'm probably not gonna get any more of these guys. Not that I don't like them, but I might just leave this guy as so he can be a more unique figure on my shelf. I feel like he won't be as unique if I get more than one of them, even though, yes, I know canonically there was more than one. But I think with the Bad Batch figures, well, with a lot of the clone figures, I remember hearing that like the bodies were made to be a little bit more like how they appeared in the animated series, and I never paid a whole lot of attention to them. So for a comparison, I'm gonna go grab a regular clone trooper, and I'm gonna grab the Imperial shock trooper that comes from the same series. So I'll be right back. Alright boys, this is the Imperial shock trooper, or I can't remember exactly what they call those guys, but now these two are from the same thing. It's from Bad Batch, and this is a Phase 3 clone trooper. It looks like the figures from Bad Batch are like a little bit more slimmer. It looks like there are some differences with like the torso, like the proportions, because these ones are made to be more like in proportion to how they looked in the movies. And, you know, these guys are from an animated series. I know they do put like some realism in like whenever they try to do like faces and stuff, but you can tell the difference. But it's not a difference that bugs me all too much. When you have the clones like, you know, side by side with each other, they still look pretty good. But yeah, the Elite Trooper, you know, has the same articulation that, you know, the other Clone Wars clone troopers from Black Series have. I just really like that dark, and then you got kind of like that green on the visors. Kind of reminds me of the Death Troopers a little bit. So I think that's pretty cool. So we're gonna move this non-clone trooper over yonder, and let's see. Oh no, Praetorian down! All I ever want to do is play hockey, man. Okay, happy go. We're gonna do Darth Nihilus next. Not because like I don't like Darth Nihilus or anything, but this figure, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I like Hasbro, but they're a little lazy with this figure. I'm gonna show you on top. So here is our good friend Darth Nihilus. Oh, and as you can tell, he's having a little trouble standing up. Now, for those of you who have been collecting Star Wars Black Series for a while, you'll remember that there was another black cloaked Sith that, in his original release, had a hard time standing up, and that was our good friend. Lord Maul here. Now, this Darth Maul is the newer body that doesn't have a problem standing up. However, this was back before a body like this was made. So what they did is they pretty much took the old Darth Maul body and just used it for Darth Nihilus. And one of the big problems with that old Darth Maul body is the way that it's sculpted and the way the joints are. He kind of always has his legs spread out, and then it makes it very difficult for him to stand up. Like, I literally like everything else about this figure. I like the hood and the mask, the cape. I just don't like the fact that they reused this old Darth Maul body. I feel like Darth Nihilus is a very, you know, he's a very popular, beloved character, especially like in the old EU stuff for a lot of fans. And they literally made the most laziest figure ever. Which is actually why I got this Kylo Ren, because I feel like Kylo Ren has a pretty decent sculpt. And regardless of how you feel about him in the movies, like, the Kylo Ren figures are usually pretty solid. They just look cool. And my plan was to take this Kylo Ren body and merge it with this Darth Nihilus head so that Darth Nihilus can have a better, not dumb body. That's pretty much why I bought this Kylo Ren. I've seen a couple of toy customizers do this, so I feel a little confident. I'm not going to do it exactly the way they did it. I'm going to put my own little spin on it, but I think it'll turn out pretty good. And at some point I will show that to you guys. But that's all I really have to say about this Darth Nihilus figure. Let's go ahead and look at his lightsaber real quick before we move on. I actually don't know a whole lot about Darth Nihilus other than, like, this guy's kind of like crazy powerful, and he like apparently can like siphon force energy from people. Like, I don't know what. The way some people describe it is almost like you know how Galactus eats planets? He just like sucks the force out of stuff, making him like super powerful. But yeah, Darth Nihilus, cool character. Body needs some work. But anyway, we're gonna move Darth Nihilus over here, and hopefully we can get this done before my camera runs out of battery. We only got 2 figures left, guys. We can do it. Let's move on to Moff Gideon. I already have one Moff Gideon, but I felt like this one looked cooler, so I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily be replacing the old Moff Gideon with this one. We'll just have to open it up first and see how it looks. Let me go put Darth Maul back up. You have something I want. Can you fix the lighting, please? A little bit lower, thank you. You have something that I want. If you don't give it to me right now, well, you hold on. Alright, Moff Gideon, shut up. So this is Moff Gideon in his, I'm pretty sure, Beskar Imperial armor. Moff Gideon was going all out in the Mandalorian series. He souped up so many of his troops with like the best, coolest looking armor. And of course he gave himself some. Now this figure, it pretty much has it all. He's got the cloth cape, and he's even got a jetpack, which automatically kind of keeps the cloth cape in place. Maybe you can get this off. I'm not taking it off. And he also comes with this very cool removable helmet. Now with the horns on it, this helmet kind of reminds me of, for those of you that remember, there was this Mandalorian that like served under Maul whenever Maul ruled Mandalore for that short period of time. I cannot remember his name. I'm pretty sure Ray Stevenson voice acted him. He was the guy that played Balin in the Ahsoka series, in case you guys remember. R.I.P. But yeah, his helmet kind of reminds me of that guy. Still need a figure of that guy, by the way. Just waiting for them to put it on a newer body. But you can easily slip this on and off, and I feel like it makes it better for Moff Gideon because his hair is not like really big or anything. So it's very easy to just pop that on and off. Uh-oh. Ignore them back there. He comes with a blaster. His little pea shooter looking blaster. We'll go ahead and put that in his holster. And he comes with, I believe this is like his staff, but this is his staff when it's not extended. I don't see anywhere that you can put it like on him, so I think he just has to hold it. Probably be better if he just held it. This is his staff when it's fully activated, and it even comes with the electric effect. Now, one thing that I kind of haven't liked about Black Series like electricity effects is I actually would prefer if they weren't removable. I would prefer if they like actually sculpted it on here, because with the like Magna Guards and like the Purge Troopers, the Electro Staff Purge Troopers, the electric effect has a really bad habit of like sliding down and then it doesn't stay in place. For some of my figures that have this, I like would super glue the effect permanently on there. Now this does a slightly better job at staying in place, so that's always good. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in Moff Gideon's hands. And here he is. I feel like it's not long enough. Like, you can't plant it like where the grip part is. He can't like put the bottom part on the ground. So I feel like it's a little short, but it's still a pretty cool, decent figure. Articulation's also pretty cool too. I just love the fact that they were able to still have the shoulder pads, but for a lot of troopers now, it doesn't hinder their articulation because it's like a separate piece. So good job Hasbro for continuing to do it like that. Now, depending on how you move Moff Gideon, sometimes you can kind of see his head sticking out from under the the helmet, so I have to work with that a little bit. Cause like, I feel like it's loose enough that when you try to lift his head up, like, see, his head doesn't go with the helmet, like how like Bo-Katan and like other figures do. But it's still a pretty decent figure. And this is my old Moff Gideon. I'm probably still gonna keep him on the shelf. We'll see. But this one's definitely better. Way better. Alright guys. I'm gonna put Moff Gideon back. Alright guys, last but not least. Definitely not least in my opinion. It's time for my favorite Star Wars character, Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen himself. And this is technically his Clone Wars armor, but this is like the appearance that he made in the Ahsoka series. So let's go ahead and open him up. This is where the fun begins. So this is Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars armor. One thing I noticed right off the bat, his shoulder pauldrons or whatever, not pauldrons, but like his shoulder armor is a separate piece. And this one's kind of like poking out a little bit. And then the one on this side seems to be not poking out. I'm pretty sure his cloth goods, because this one I think has more cloth goods than the original Clone Wars Anakin that they released. I don't think he had as much soft goods. And I do remember a couple of fellow collectors like Fush and stuff was saying that it was kind of hard to get like his belt and everything to rest in a way that doesn't look a little weird. Pretty sure this is just like factory. I'm gonna try to pull his cloth piece over that shoulder part so you don't see it as much. And as if you guys can see, I'm trying to pull it and it's going back in place. Oh. Alright guys, I tried to fix it the best I could, but it seems like the cloth goods in some ways might not have been the best thing to do. Or they could have at least, like, I know like for some of the figures they would have like the top part be plastic and the bottom part be soft goods, but this whole torso piece is cloth, and it seems like I can't quite get it. I finally got to cover this a little bit. It's a little bit better. That is a little disappointing, but the articulation seems pretty decent. Yeah guys, I don't know. I like the way it looks. I definitely like the way it looks. It's just I don't know if I care for the cloth pieces. Alright, nice. Now just for comparison, because I don't have a lot of Anakins. I only got like 2, not counting episode 1 Anakin. But this is my Revenge of the Sith. This is the archive Anakin. And obviously the Clone Wars Anakin's like body, like his articulation is definitely superior. They recently revealed a new sculpt for Revenge of the Sith Anakin. He's supposed to be a San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack with Obi-Wan, but they are going to eventually release him as a single release. So finally have a better articulated Anakin for that. But this Clone Wars Anakin is pretty good. The cloth is a little annoying because I can't quite get, you can still kind of see that metal piece sticking out, and when I try to pull it I end up pulling the fabric and like unraveling it. So maybe if I can get a pair of tweezers and pull, that might not rip it as badly. And I got Clone Wars Ahsoka over here. So I finally got the Clone Wars tag team at last. But yeah, overall minus the cloth kind of not going the way I want it to go, I don't really have a big problem with this figure. Just glad I got another Anakin, a better sculpted Hayden Christensen, definitely. Photoreal, they did a pretty good job with that. So really like that a lot. And there you go, guys. A pretty good haul today. I feel like Nihilus is gonna fall down at any minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. Out of all these figures, which ones do you like the best, and which ones do you actually own? I'm probably not gonna do a video on my custom idea with Nihilus. Probably just gonna go ahead and do it. And guys, be sure to be on the lookout, because I will be doing a new action figure display video showing my entire Star Wars collection actually on display. And I might make a little announcement at the end of that video, so be tuned for that. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to follow me on my socials, as you can stay updated when I plan to upload a video, as well as see exclusive photos and videos that you will not see on YouTube. Alright guys, until then, be sure to like, subscribe, and go to my channel to check out other videos. Catch you later.